الدكتور محمد كمال جابر رئيس قسم الإدارة العامة للشؤون الهندسية في البروجيت، حصل على درجة دكتوراه في الهندسة الميكانيكية والطاقة المتجددة من الجامعة الدولية الأمريكية. بحث الدكتوراه في عمل التحويل الكيميائية الحرارية للنفايات البلاستيكية إلى زيت البلاستيك. حصل على درجة ماجستير في هندسة تصميم الأنابيب وخطوط الأنابيب الهند أغسطس 2017. حصل على درجة دكتوراه في هندسة ميكانيكا قوة جامعة المنصورة 2013. حصل الدكتور محمد على جائزة بتروجيت الأفضل أفكار الابتكار 2019. قدم عرضا مؤخرا تقديميا لاستعادة الشعلة في معرض ايجيبت وغيره. فالمايك معاك يا دكتور محمد، اتفضل.
أنا بشكركم جدا، بس I will take your permission to go through the English for two reasons. This is a worldwide international conference, and the second, I haven't prepared in Arabic, so just allow me to go through the English.
As you like.
Okay.
As you like.
So good afternoon. Despite being one of the latest speakers of this event, I will make sure to fill this room with energy. Energy is the main player nowadays for the economical and political actions and decisions. So it all starts with a flare. Just give yourself a second and allow me to know what is the first thing comes to your mind when your eyes come to this picture. As Mr. Thomas Berger has said that the art and the science of asking questions is the source of all knowledge, we need to ask ourselves, as I have said, what is the first thing that comes to our mind when our eyes come to a flare? If I'm going to help you and support you to give an action or give a solution for this question, I need to go back to the year of 2017 when the Zohr field has been discovered, and it has been announced by His Excellency, the Egyptian Minister of Petroleum and Mineral Resources, that the production would reach 1 billion cubic feet per day of gas by the end of 2017, and also it could reach, and it is planned to reach 2.7 billion cubic feet per day by 2019, and it has already been reached. So probably now you are thinking that the flare should be meaning a new discovery, should be meaning the profits are up and there is no more importing. However, Egypt is one of the importers of the energy. We are flaring approximately 5.66 million standard cubic meter of gas every single day, which if converted to a more familiar gas unit, it's approximately 200 million standard cubic feet per day, which means a revenue loss of approximately $250 million every single year, according to World Bank. The good news, if these amount of gas are being recovered, they would cover approximately 5% of our country's energy needs. So now, the question you might be asking me, what can we do, right? What would be the right solution, the efficient and effective solution? But as I have started my presentation saying that the art and the science of asking questions is the source of all knowledge, we need to leave the leaves and go down to the roots, and we would ask or upgrade our question to be, why are we flaring? Why do we flare? But I also would like to refer to Mr. Einstein, as he said that if I'm having 1 hour to solve a problem, I will be spending 55 minutes thinking of the problem, and only 5 minutes thinking of the solution itself. So we need to identify the problem itself, so we will define the flare itself. So this will be the series of the questions we are going to follow through our presentation. And also you might be asking me as well, is it only one solution or it is multi-solutions? Not to be lost, stay with me and we are going to follow this series of the questions. Firstly, we will be defining the flare itself. According to the American Petroleum Institute, the flare is the system provided in a refinery or a petrochemical plant to ensure the safe and efficient disposal of relieved gases or liquids. And according to the Canadians, it is the controlled burning of the gases which are not used or processed for sale because of technical or economic reasons. So now you are having the definition of the flare itself. We would like also to know, where is the flare existing? The flare mostly is existing in refineries, natural gas processing plants, upstream oil and gas wells, storage tank form. The flares are primarily used for burning flammable gas released by pressure relief valves during any overpressure scenarios of plant process unit equipment due to process upset or during startups, shutdowns, or the planned combustion of gases for relatively shortly period times. The gas flares similarly are used for a variety of activities. The normal ones we have discussed as above: startups, maintenance, testing, and safety and emergency purposes. So now you have answered the second question of our presentation: why do we flare? And also we have covered the purposes of the flare itself. Now we go for our third or the main question, which is what's the solution? It is a flare recovery multi-approaches. This is our proposed presentation. But before going to these approaches, I would like to define a very important definition which is repeatedly used in the flare recovery or vapor recovery units, which is the LRC. It is abbreviated as the LRC or the vacuum pump as well by the operation team. They always would like to prefer to call it as a liquid ring compressor. The liquid ring compressor is ideal for the flare gases or the flow gases, such as gas contains liquid, dust, or waste or dead particles. This kind of equipment is competitive to handle this kind of components. The centrifugal force which is resulted during the revolving particles of the vacuum pump is producing a vacuum power which is allowing, or suction energy, which is allowing the gas to be processed or handled from the suction side to the discharge side. You now will ask me as well, do we have any kind of case studies? Yes, we are having our first approach, our first case study. It's a flare recovery unit, liquid ring compressor scheme. The liquid ring compressor scheme main components, it's inlet separator, liquid ring compressor stages, an aftercooler, and the three-phase high-pressure separator. The product of this scheme could be low-pressure fuel gas. If you are using only one stage of compression station, if you upgraded the scheme to have 2 stages, you will have high-pressure fuel gas. And if you upgraded the compressor station to be 3 stages, you will have gas which is ready for sales. The case study for our first approach would be this scheme, which have been produced by our software, Unisim software. We are having a well composition, which is main components are oil, water, and gas, with a total production of 2299 kilogram per hour. I choose the mass unit to be more sensible. The oil is, as you see in front of you, the oil is approximately 1466 kilogram per hour, and the water or the gas 805.5 kilogram per hour, and the water is approximately 26.44 kilogram per hour. These are the compositions. We are having no H2S, and this is the good news. We are having sweet gas. We are having quite good amount of nitrogen and CO2 as well to keep the heating value of the gas itself. And we are having, these are the lighter and the heavier components mixed together. You are having the inlet separator, the link compressor, and the water, the aftercooler. And then we are having the low pressure separator, and then we are having our recovered gas. With these conditions and these compositions. Okay. So I will go quickly through the presentation. So we also upgraded, we have upgraded this scheme to produce power, turning the flared recovered flared gas into power through this scheme. And these are the main components of it. But also sometimes we are having a kind of problem. Sorry. The same components or the same compositions of the well itself and the same mass balance. We are having the inlet separator, we are having the filtration itself, a heater to raise up the heating value, and the gas scrubber and the compressor, and then we are having another gas compressor itself, and then we are having the gas which is going to the generator, matching with the specifications required by the gas compressor itself, approximately 74% of C1. And the other would go to the gas utilities. One of the operation team might come to us and ask us, we are not having any cost to cover this, any funding, nor time, so we would choose our second approach, which would be, sorry for this, it would be a multi-phase pump. The multi-phase pump, it takes all the production through a multi-phase pump skid, which is capable of handling the multi-phase products. It is mainly scrubber or inlet separator and compressor and a pump. As you see, it is brought to the site, one skid with all the accessories required for it. It's a twin screw pump, one inlet portion and one outlet portion. Now we have covered two approaches in the upstream facilities. Let us go to the downstream facilities where we are having the factories, the refineries, and the tank storage farms. So we have this V9 stream with these compositions, these conditions and these compositions. Normally, to recover it, we will have, or we are going to adopt the vapor recovery unit, which is LRC, which we have discussed at the first of our presentation. But going through deeply to the composition of it, we are having two reasons to upgrade this. First one, it is having quite good pressure, more than 16 bar gauges, and we are having quite good C3 amount. So we have upgraded it to have this scheme, 3 columns. It is brought to the site as a skid also, having this, our third approach. First column, absorption, then de-ethanizer, then depropanizer, and then we are having this amount of products, approximately 94.7% of C3 products. The conclusion, we have covered what is coming to our mind when we see a flare. So we went to Zohr field. It is a promising, profits are up, halting the importers. But if we are going to go deep, we are wasting a lot of revenue loss. So if recovered, it will cover 5% of our energy needs. So we went through a series of questions, and then we have 3 approaches. First one was LRC. Second one, the LRC, I have covered 2 cases. First one is EBF, and the second one is gas to power. And then the second approach is a multi-phase pump, which is capable of handling the multi-phase immediately to the nearest facility through a well-designed and prepared 2-phase pipelines. And the third one was leaving the upstream facilities, going to cover the downstream facilities. It was C3 recovery. As you see, it's a skid brought to the site with these 3 columns. At the end of the presentation, I would like to acknowledge the support of His Excellency Engineer Tariq Al-Mullah, the Minister of Egyptian Petroleum Resources, and also the support of His Excellency Engineer Walid Lutfi, the Chairman of Petrojet Companies. Thanks for all my colleagues and my managers, and thanks for everyone who allowed me and helped me to do this presentation, and thanks for all of you for your listening.
شكرا المتحدثة السادسة مهندسة نورهان عبد السلام شوقي. المهندسة نورهان باحث مساعد بقسم الهندسة الكيميائية والتجارب النسف الصناعية المركز القومي للبحوث، طالبة دكتوراه في الهندسة الكيميائية والتكريم